The following program is rated PG. The content is the sole responsibility of Alfred Roach and is not meant as a reflection of Disability Lakeshore, its affiliates, or its employees. Most unusual novelty act. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. It's the unusual part that still kind of gets me just a wee bit. Well, good morning, listener friends. It's 6:13. My name is Red Kingman. Welcome to Red's Place 2.0 on the Lakeshore Disability Network. For this Monday, St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, 2014. And yes, St. Patrick's Day is here. Kind of a day that a lot of folks find themselves at a bar. Some of them are crawling at bars and others are sitting upright. But still, the bar seems to be the place to be on St. Patrick's Day. And here we are in Red's Place 2.0. Coming up on today's show, of course, we'll have Cat Talk with Josh. We'll take a listen to the president's weekly radio address and the Republican response. We'll look at some news headlines, of course. I've got the jazz cello song of the day for Ebony in the 7 o'clock hour. We'll find out the latest in the world of technology with Larry Magid from CBS. And of course, I've got the greatest hits of all time, also known as the soundtrack of your life, right here at Red's Place 2.0 on the Lakeshore Disability Network. All right, the time is 6:14, and let us get to, let's see. I'm hearing all kinds of clicking, but I'm not getting what I need here. There we go. All right. All right. Still not hearing it. There we go. All right. Time now for today's daily devotional. It comes from davidjeremiah.org. And it appears today that Mr. Jeremiah is going to be speaking about angels again, but one angel in particular and what caused his fall. The suggested scripture reading comes from 1 Timothy 3:5-7. Where we find, "For if a man does not know how to rule his own house, how will he take care of the church of God? Not a novice, lest being puffed up with pride he fall into the same condemnation as the devil. Moreover, he must have a good testimony among those who are outside, lest he fall into reproach and the snare of the devil." The snare of the devil. In Ezekiel 28:13, we read, "You were in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone was your covering, the sardius, topaz, and diamond, beryl, onyx, and jasper, sapphire, turquoise, and emerald with gold. The workmanship of your timbrels and pipes was prepared for you on the day you were created." One of the most timeless warnings in all the Bible is illustrated by the ancient event. An ancient event. Quote, "Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall." Proverbs 16:18. In the uncharted time before creation, Satan was Lucifer, the most beautiful and honored of God's angelic beings. But his pride, his belief in his beauty, brought him down. Two passages in the Old Testament, Isaiah 14 and Ezekiel 28, are considered by many scholars to be personifications of events in Satan's story. Both passages refer to earthly kings, but in language that can only typify heavenly events. And because all godless kings draw their prideful inspiration from Satan, they serve as a type of Lucifer himself. Ezekiel 28:17 says, "Your heart was lifted up because of your beauty." And the Apostle Paul echoes that verse when talking about the pride that led to Satan's fall in 1 Timothy 3:6. Beware of pride and self-exaltation, says James in James 4:6. And William Gurnall says, pride of gifts robs us of God's blessing in the use of them. I'd have to say amen to that. "618 here in Reds Place 2.0, and I want to welcome you back from a short weekend. I say short because, well, Shelly was busy one day and then I was busy the next day, and so we only got to spend about 36 hours, so maybe about 40 hours together total, instead of the full 48. So we're just 8 shy. Actually, it was a little shorter than that. But yeah, it was a good weekend. The nicest part was the sunshine. Yeah, we had some sunshine this weekend, which was a nice treat. But it was cold. It was bitterly cold, and you have to admit that too. Still, we know it's a lot of people. Hold on. A lot of people were out driving around in their cars, and Shelly and I were no different, except that this year there was no speeding ticket involved. And I don't know if you realize this, but last year at the same time, Shelly and I, yeah, thank you. Shelly and I got a speeding ticket. Yeah, because, we had that kind of a long, boring winter, and we finally got some sunshine right about the same time in March. Maybe it was just after St. Patrick's Day. But we took the car out, Sinister. It's our 300 horsepower, monster. And we were heading out, like if you go down Chicago Drive and then you go under I-196 and you just keep on going. Well, we were heading to the casino. So we're going out that road, and I'm looking at it, and I'm thinking, man, this will be great to get out here and see, run the car a little bit. And so on the way back from the casino, I had picked a spot that I thought was going to be perfect, and it came to a stop, and then took off from the stop sign, got it up to like 110 miles an hour, and then looked in the rear view and saw the cop. Okay? That was because we had cabin fever, just wanted to get out and run the car. Well, there was a similar feeling this past weekend because the car's running great. We got our income tax money, and we sunk some of that money into Sinister. Got some new plugs, new wire. The transmission fluid changed. What was it? Friday. Was it Friday or Saturday? I'm not sure. One of the days this weekend, I think it was Friday. I got some new tires. And that was pretty amazing. So I had new tires, new spark plugs, new everything. I was ready. I could have done 110 miles an hour again. But we didn't. No, because we remembered last year at this time when we had to pay some I think it was $30-some for the speeding ticket, and then our insurance went up by about $80. So those memories are still fresh. In fact, they're still a little tender. So there was no speeding this weekend, but we did zip around a bit, and it was fun. So I hope you had a great weekend as well. Yeah, I gotta say, everybody loves the sunshine, and so I'm gonna play a song that speaks about that right now from Mr. Roy Ayers. This one came out in probably in the 1970s. But it's so true, and it'll get us started musically, and then we'll take a look at Holland's Tulip City forecast, and then we'll have Cat Talk with Josh. But right now, agree. Do you agree with me that everybody loves the sunshine? Here's Roy Ayers at Reds Place 2.0 on the Lakeshore Disability Network. My life, my life, my life, my life, and the sunshine. Everybody loves the sunshine. 4831. 80, 20, 12, and 18. Just bees and things and flowers. Just bees and things and flowers. Wow, 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 wow. Just bees and things and flowers. Wow, 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 wow. Just bees and things and flowers. Wow, 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 wow. My life, my life, my life, my life, 35 and 27. Everybody loves the sunshine. Sunshine. Mhm, mhm. Everybody loves the sunshine. Mhm, mhm, mhm. Mhm, 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 Yes, Roy Ayers. Just birds and bees and flowers. No, just bees and things and flowers. It's very true in the summertime. And I'm not looking forward to that part of the summertime, bees and the flies and things, but I am looking forward to the warmth and the fact that there should be no snow. That's really the key. All right, I'm getting messages all over the place. Does that mean that I'm not broadcasting? You're not hearing me? We got 5 messages here. There's that. Now let me go back and see what is going on. Mike Otto, hey buddy, you have an audio. You have an audio problem. Okay, and then there's Shelly also telling me about the problem. Audio problem. Okay, let's see if we can fix the audio problem. Oh, there we go. We have the. Is your wife Shelly calling? Yes. Yes, Shelly. Huh? Hello? Well, it's showing me that I've got audio here. I don't know what to say. Now it's off, and now it's on, and how about now? Am I there now? Am I there now? Tell me, tell me, tell me. Am I there now? Am I there now? I bet you I'm there now. No music, just you singing, dear. All right. I was going to sing this today. I've been texting him to let him know. Okay, I'm here now. How about now? Someone text me now. Someone text me now. How about now? Now. Am I good? We cannot hear the music. Only you singing. All right, let's try the music now. Let's see if you can hear this. Do you hear that music? Test? Yes. All right, I believe we have sound now. Do we have sound? Houston? Houston, do we have sound? Houston? Houston, do we have sound? Does that mean that you missed out on everything? You didn't hear, well, you heard the daily devotional, but you didn't hear the music. You heard Everybody Loves the Sunshine. I only hear you chanting. David Hedges says he only hears me chanting to myself. Chanting? Mike Otto says everything's perfect. Thank you very much, guys. Chanting, though. Hey, yakka digga digga do, hee ha. Hey, yakka digga digga do, hee ha. Chanting. Is that what you mean? Chanting? Chanting. I'm not down with chanting, man. I'm not down with the chant. All right, let me try to find the text messages just keep coming hot and heavy. Hold on. I need my music. New weather bed. That's my new weather music. I love it. Okay, back. And let's check this last message, and then we're going to continue on here. We can hear you better now, as my wife says. And David Hedges says he's going to talk more chanting, I guess. Yes, Shanghai has sound. Very good. Shanghai has... I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, are we ready to get out of here and do this thing now? This is what I want to do. Yeah, I want to do the weather almanac for this. Come on. I want to do the weather almanac for this Monday, the 17th day of March, 2014, which really would make it St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, that means it's the 76th day of the year. Only 288 days remain in 2014, and for my wife Shelly, 285 shopping days left before Christmas, honey, so you don't have to start buying everything now. No, leave me some money. I want to buy some stuff. I need some blue jeans. The average high temperature on this date is 48 degrees. The average low temperature is 31, and I see that today you and I, we're looking for highs near 30. Yeah. Yesterday's high temp, 25 degrees. The overnight low, 10 above zero. And the record low of 18 above zero was set on this date back in 2005. The sun will rise this morning at 7:52 a.m. and then set this evening at 7:57 p.m. Our barometer is at 30.08. That's giving us 69% humidity. The winds are out of the east at 7 miles per hour. Our dew point is at 2 degrees. The wind chill, -1. Visibility on the area roads is perfect. And the driving conditions are also perfect. So let's go ahead and take a look at, I guess, Holland's Tulip City forecast from weather.gov, shall we? With the audio and the video both working right now, I'm happy to say. No, I don't want a drum roll. I wanted a round of applause. Anyway, for today, here's your forecast, Holland. It's going to be partly sunny with a high near 30. Wind chill values as low as -12. Brr! Tonight, slight chance for some snow showers. Otherwise, mostly cloudy, low 22. Tuesday, we'll have partly sunny skies with a high near 46. Yeah, baby. Tuesday night, rain, low 39. Sounds to me like the snow's going to be melting and getting a little bit of an assist from the rain. Yep, same thing on Wednesday, except snow wants to join the party. In fact, we could see all snow after 2 p.m. Look for a high near 43. So in other words, that snow won't be hanging around any place that we know of. Although on Wednesday, the winds will be gusting as high as 38 miles an hour. So that could make the wind chill values pretty low. Slight chance of snow on Wednesday night, low 28. And then partly sunny skies on Thursday with a high near 37. Not bad, people. Currently in the Tulip City, it is 10 degrees above zero. And over in Zeeland, it is 8 degrees above zero. Let's see what we can find out. We know that David is in Shanghai. I think you spell it like that. Let's see if we can get a... Shanghai, West Virginia. They don't even give us, they won't give us Shanghai, China. The National Weather Service won't go there. Oh my. Well, let's see if we can get it here. From
weather.com. Oh boy, come on, you dummy. SHANGHI. And I don't think I spelled it right, did I? I don't think so. GHI, Shanghai. All right. How do you spell that, David? Because I'm basically an idiot. I'm an idiot. All right. There we go. There we go. And he says SHANGHAI. See? SHANGHAI. Shanghai. There we go. In Taiwan. And the temperature there. Oh. Partly cloudy and 72. Nice, David. Nice. Man, I'm not going to sit up here and wish that you have to work all day and miss out on some of that sunshine. I'm not going to wish that. I'm not going to wish that you have to put in a 10-hour day and miss going out to the golf course. I'm not going to wish that, David. I want you to make it to the golf course in the 72-degree temperature. 10 degrees above zero in Detroit. Cloudy. And in Chicago, it's cloudy and 22. Again, you can get the latest weather forecast at weather.gov or keep listening to the program because I check the weather every 10 to 15 minutes. That's how we used to say 15 in the neighborhood. 15. Here's another message from David. Yep. Oh, he's saying, yeah. Okay. I'm serious. I'm not wishing that for you. I hope you have a chance to get out there and enjoy the 72-degree temperature. Not. What was that? Anyway, it's time to get him on the phone. Josh! Yeah, let's have some cat talk this morning. Pussycat, pussycat, I've got flowers and lots of hours to spend with you. Uh-oh, is Josh not prepared?
Good morning, Brad.
Well, it's Josh, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give him a round of applause and bring him aboard this morning. How are you, buddy?
Well, as you can tell, I'm a little hoarse this morning.
I thought I heard a little James Arness in your voice there. What's up, man?
Well, I got sick this weekend.
Oh.
And have not been feeling very good.
Oh, I am so sorry for you, man. If you don't mind.
Yeah. We'll get her done this morning.
All right.
We're gonna get her done since you gave me a call.
All right, my
We're
friend.
gonna be a real trooper and just we're gonna do some trivia this morning.
Wow.
Like we did last week.
All right, sounds good. Well, do you feel good enough to give us an update? How were the cats over the last week?
I feel good enough to give you guys an update. I will do that for our listener friends. Now, by the way, how's Mr. Bubbles doing?
Mr. Bubbles is doing great. He's still very puffy and clean from his bath, and the other morning, I think Saturday morning, he was in there with Shelly, and I guess he knows that when I come into the bathroom that we don't play bathroom games. So I walked by the bathroom, and he came flying out as if he was in trouble. So I went, "No, Bubbles, it's okay." So I picked him up and I put him back in the bathroom with Shelly, and he ran out again. And I picked him up and put him back in there one more time and said, "No, man, it's okay. You can be in here." And he flew out. And then I realized he thinks that if he, Shelly, and I are in the bathroom at the same time, that means he's going to get a bath. So I think he was a little scared.
Wow.
Yeah, I think he was a little scared of a bath.
That cat is crazy.
He is wild, man. When I leave the apartment, like I had to go away and do some shopping, when I leave, he goes away. He goes away and hides. He waits until Daddy comes home, and then he comes out. And I don't know, it makes me feel kind of good. Makes me feel kind of good.
Well, I have got a big update for you guys. Bella and Mister are finally starting to walk by each other. Bella does growl and just a little bit.
Well, yeah. Why do you think she does that?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure why she does that.
Is it that cat territorial thing?
I wonder if it's that. But she does like to chase him, too. She likes to be an instigator of a fight.
Is it play or is it really a fight?
It's play.
Okay.
So, it's very interesting. And I think what's also crazy is she likes to eat his food, and he likes to eat her food.
Now, wait a minute. How come they eat differently?
Uh, hold on there.
I feel bad.
He is on food for his food allergies,
Oh, okay.
and she gets the regular fancy feast.
Okay. Yeah, we're still giving Bubbles, I think, kitten Imes. But I'm thinking, and he will not eat wet cat food from the can. He won't touch it.
What?
I don't understand that. I don't get it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he'll eat bacon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bacon.
Yes, he'll eat my bacon, but he
Okay.
won't eat his little canned food.
Wow, that cat is very interesting.
Do you ever feed
I
Mister
haven't-
from the table?
No.
No.
I never feed Mister from the table, but I occasionally will feed Bella
Okay.
a little scrap or two.
And she goes for it?
She does. She loves my mom's homemade hamburgers.
Oh, really?
Yes.
All right, man. How about that
So-
trivia?
Or, we're not going to do the trivia. We're gonna get my voice back to normal for next week. How about that?
That sounds good. I do have a riddle for you, though.
Go for it, Red.
Why did the leopard wear a striped shirt?
Oh, he had no spot remover?
Very close. You're always so close. The reason the leopard wore a striped shirt is so he wouldn't be spotted. But you're so close, man.
Oh my goodness.
You're always so close.
I am. And I'm gonna see if you remember this one. What do you call a kitten that works in the hospital?
What do you call a kitten that works in the hospital? Now, I'm not as smart as you. Let me see. Cat that works in a hospital. A hospital has an emergency room. It has an operating room. See, I don't know. CAT scan? What?
No, first aid kit.
First aid kit, as in kitten. Okay, Josh, look, I'll go ahead and do it this week because you don't really have the voice. But, folks, join us next Monday morning at about 6:30 for Cat Talk with Josh and Red here in Red's Place 2.0 on the Lakeshore Disability Network, powered by the Disability Lakeshore of Holland. How did I do, Josh?
You did awesome, my friend.
All right,
you
'cause
did it just like I normally do.
All right, because that is your job. All right, man, take care of that voice, and I'll talk with you next Monday morning.
All right.
All right, man, God bless. Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, you know what I want to do? Because our little friend here, Josh, is not feeling so well. I thought I'd just say a little prayer for him. Heavenly Father, we come to you this morning on this Monday full of joy, just filled with joy for all that you've done for us. You've blessed us so that we are here alive and awake on Monday morning, able to fellowship together. You brought us through a weekend. You have blessed us with just riches in abundance, and riches that we certainly do not deserve. But through the work of the cross of your Son, Jesus Christ, we have been given another opportunity once again to commune with you and to be able to lay our burdens right at the foot of the throne where you sit. And we're so grateful for that, Lord. So this morning, we just want to lift up our young brother, Josh. As you heard, Heavenly Father, and as you know, his voice is not there because he's not feeling well. There's some kind of virus trying to mess with his body. So we would just pray this morning, Lord, that you would infuse his body with those things that you put in our bodies that would fight disease and that would fight sickness. Lord, I just pray that you would energize his chromosomes and his blood cells and everything inside of his body, Heavenly Father, and just energize it so that it would fight this virus that's in there and that Josh would overcome this, because your word tells us that by the stripes that Christ bore on his back, we are healed. We don't have to accept sickness. So we just claim victory over this virus or whatever's going on in Josh's body. We claim victory, and we just praise you this morning, Lord, for healing him and for restoring his voice and for bringing him back. We just praise your name for that this morning, Heavenly Father, and we thank you so much, and we give all the honor and glory to you, Heavenly Father, in Jesus' precious name. Amen. All right, 6:42, and I mean, this was an interesting weekend. I had to come back up here to the studio because I paid for a digital editing program that for the last several weeks just was not operating. And so I made up my mind on Sunday that I'm going to get up here and I'm going to make it work. And I came up here and I worked on it, and voila, I now have the ability to record digitally from any source off of the internet through all of my equipment here. And as such, I decided now is the time for me to look into this books on tape thing. Yeah, for a while. I've thought about, submitting some audition tapes, for books on tape. I think that I have a decent voice. I read pretty well. And a friend of mine, Jimmy White, when I was back in San Diego for my mother's funeral, her homegoing, he told me that he's doing books on tape. And I'm thinking to myself, hold on. You are a retired policeman. I am an unemployed announcer. I should be doing books on tape. Okay? Yeah, I guess I had a little bit of that Lucifer thing going on there. But I just said, I'm going to get home and I got to make this work. And so I made it work. And yesterday I did a couple of auditions. And I thought I'd ask you your opinion on them before I actually try to submit them. Not that I'm, ashamed or anything. I'm just uncertain. Uncertain. So let's see. Here is one of them. Actually, I only did 2. All right, let's listen to this one. I lay there that winter afternoon in 1987 without strength. Leaving the house for church that morning had taken great courage, and I now felt drained and depressed. To be honest, getting through an average Sunday had become too much for me. Unexplained anxiety complicated my every thought. The busy, confident, and brave woman I'd known myself to be had vanished in a matter of weeks. 4 years earlier, I'd started a ministry for women and teens with unwanted pregnancies that had grown into a community-recognized service. My 30 volunteers staffed both a 24-hour hotline and office space downtown. I fielded phone calls from those volunteers day and night and frequently spoke at churches throughout town to raise awareness and financial support. I was proud of my ability to communicate and get things accomplished, and often judged other Christians who appeared inactive. Now this super Christian I'd become had vanished, and in her place was a weak, scared, and pouty one. I didn't know then, but I was in the midst of something called burnout. It's not fair, I told God. After all I've done for you, I shouldn't be suffering this way. You're not supposed to treat your saints this way. I've given you my all, my every minute. And this is the way you're repaying me? I thought you would protect me. I didn't expect an answer. Nevertheless, an answer came, and quickly, like a punch to my spirit. Quote, both the knowledge of good and evil lead to death. End quote. Over the next 20 years, the mystery of that word from the Lord had been progressively unveiled before my spiritual eyes. It's simple and yet not easy. The knowledge of good and evil is so woven into our Christian culture and human experience that the fabric will take some careful unveiling. But in its loosing lies something much preferred, the tree of life, who is Christ. Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you. And besides, I pay those people to clap. Yeah, that was my audition. I'm not going to do it over again and over and over and over and over. I don't think that's necessary. I think, they want someone who sounds regular, normal. And it would be abnormal if this, I think, sounded just too perfect. So that was like my second or third reading. And that's what I'm going to submit. And we'll see what happens. I found this website where there's like hundreds of authors, some of whom have written many books, some of whom this is their first book. But all you do is go to the website and, select their book, and they'll, have a PDF or something of the, audition script. You read the script, doing it the way they suggest. Sometimes they say an English voice. In fact, I chose one that's they're asking for an English voice. And I feel that I've done a fairly good English voice all my life. And so there won't be a heavy English accent, but there'll be one just enough so you'll know that the person, see what I'm saying? I think I can do that one pretty good. Now, I think they said it's going to take about 6 hours to read this whole book. That'll be quite a feat. 6 hours using the English accent, hoping that I don't fade somewhere in the middle and just start talking like this. Oh, I mean talking like this. That's the only problem. I could lose the accent. But anyway, yeah, books on tape. I'm going to submit those today, and I'll let you know what happens with that. That would be so cool if all of a sudden, I could become a books on tape guy. That's all I would do. That's all. I would do that and Red's Place 2.0. That's how I'd make my money. Come on in the morning, have fun with you, and in the afternoon, read a few books. Oh, forsooth, my love, we know not of the... And then get paid. Cha-ching, cha-ching. Huh? Sounds like a dream, doesn't it? It could be a nightmare, I would imagine, if no one picks up on your book. Yeah, well, thank you for your audition, but we're looking for a more clearer voice, one that doesn't sound like it's from the hood. What you mean, man? I read your thing. How about some music now? The Osmond Brothers, yeah, and One Bad Apple, here in Red's Place 2.0 on the Lakeshore Disability Network.
I can tell you've been hurt by that look on your face, girl. Some guy from the sand to your happy world. You need love, but you're afraid that if you give in, someone else will come along and suck it to your game. One bad apple don't spoil the whole bunch, girl.
Oh, give it one more try before you give up on love.
One bad apple don't spoil the whole bunch, girl.
Oh, I don't care what they say, I don't care what you heard.
I could make you happy, baby, satisfy you too. Satisfy you now. How could I? You won't give me a chance to prove my love to you. Won't you just give me one little chance? One little chance now. Let me guarantee that you won't be hurt again. One bad apple don't spoil the whole bunch, girl.
Oh, give it one more try before you give up on love.
One bad apple don't spoil the whole bunch, girl.
Oh, I don't care what they say, I don't care what you heard
I've been noticing you, baby, for a long, long time. Long time now. I'm not ashamed to tell the world that you really messed up my mind. Girl, to me, you're like a dream come true. I'd rather hurt myself than to ever hurt you. One bad apple don't spoil the whole bunch, girl.
Oh, give it one more try before you give up on love, girl.
One bad apple don't spoil the whole bunch, girl.
Oh, I don't care what they say, I don't care what you heard now.
One bad apple don't spoil the whole bunch, girl.
Oh, give it one more try before you give up on love.
Listen to little Donnie right there. He's just trying his best to sound like Michael Jackson. I mean, he's just belting it out there, man. I love that. Donnie. All right, now. The Jacksons are kicking our butt. All up and down the charts. We've got to come up with a song that will show the world that the Osmonds can be funky too. I'm going to call Joe Jackson right now. So he calls the Jackson 5's father. Joe, can you help us? We need a hit song. We need to sound funky. Joe said, For the right price, you can sound funky. Yeah, well, I guess they made a deal because Joe wrote that song, and next thing you know, Donnie's all, "Oh, give me one more try." Oh. Oh, I love that. I got to hear just a little bit more of that because Donnie's funny.
Before you give up on love.
One bad apple don't spoil the whole bunch, girl.
He's just all over the way. Ah! All right. All right, Donnie, now we need you to really, come on, you got to pump it up now. Oh, I don't care what they, no, Donnie, you really got to pump it up now. You got to really pump it up. Oh, Donnie, you better pump it up, or I'm not going to let you go to Brigham Young University. You're going to have to go to community college. And what did Donnie do? What did Donnie do when he heard that about going to community college and he wasn't going to go to BYU? This is what Donnie did. There you go, Donnie. That's what we wanted. That's right. You're going to BYU. Give it to me one more time and you can make it to your sophomore year. There you go, Donnie. You just graduated. Donnie just graduated. Okay, 6:53 here in Red's Place 2.0. 10 degrees above zero outside the windows. Looking for a high right around 30 degrees. I'll believe it when I feel it. I see that CBS News and CNET technology consultant Larry Magid did an examination of the colliding worlds of fitness and technology in this morning's Tech Talk segment.
Larry Magid, CBS News and CNET Tech Talk. In an effort to lose weight and get in better shape, I've been doing a lot more walking. And to keep track of all that walking, I've tested a number of fitness watches, including the $130 Fitbit Force and the Galaxy Gear watch that sells for about $200, which includes a pedometer function. But lately, I've been trying out a much less expensive alternative, and I actually like it better. It's the $50 LifeTrack C300. It's a simple watch that tells you all the information you need at a glance without having to sync with a smartphone. But if you want, you can sync it with an iPhone. What I like most about the LifeTrack watches is that you don't have to charge the battery. A simple coin battery lasts about a year. And they also make a $38 one that doesn't sync and a $75 version that also tracks your sleep. Details at larrysworld.com. I'm Larry Magid.
6:55 here in Red's Place 2.0. Here's Tommy James and the Shondells. Well. Tommy James and the Shondells right there in Crimson and Clover, over and over. You know, it's amazing. I didn't think I'd ever say something like this, but I'm about this far away from regretting having invited one particular person to Red's Place 2.0. You see that? I'm shaking a fist at them because they're really a troublemaker. Yeah, they're not a troublemaker in the chat room, but they're a troublemaker right here. Yeah. This particular troublemaker, likes snow. In fact, this particular troublemaker, when he passes away, he wants to be buried in the winter so that he can be buried in the frozen ground. This is how serious he is about snow. Yeah, he wants a little vial of it buried right with him. I guess they'll somehow cryogenically freeze it, and then they'll just... He's giving me a hard time now. Yeah. I should keep all of the messages that he sends me for evidence when I take him to court. But it says here, one of these days, and this is a reference to the Books on Tape thing that I played. So, I got to give you this one more time. He says, I can do it with the left hand. Okay. He says, one of these days when you grow up big and strong, you'll get a man voice. So I wrote back, yes, I'll have a scary city council semi-Vincent Price like someone else I know. That's the kind of voice I'll have. Okay, all righty. Oh, boy, I can't wait to see you face to face. Boy, I want some FaceTime with you. I'm serious. Anyway, 7 o'clock. Hey, we made it to the next hour, even though I was hassled by it. Hey, I have to tell you, this past weekend, Shelley and I watched yet another movie. Now, if you were with me last week, you know that because of someone's suggestion, I don't even think it was anyone's suggestion. I think my wife, Shelley, she wanted to see this. She wanted to see the movie Runaway Slave. And, I was hesitant. I didn't want to go and see it in the movie theater because it's uncomfortable for me. It's uncomfortable for the whites who are there, seeing me there in the slave movie. And it's uncomfortable for me because it's a slave movie. I know you didn't have anything to do with it, but still. And then throughout the whole movie, it's just, come on. Throughout the whole movie, yeah. That's it. Runaway Slave. About 2.5 hours of, yeah, boy. Every time you turn around, if you looked at somebody wrong, if you said the wrong thing, you got a little of that. Yeah. If they found out that you were a slave and you could read and you could write, yeah, you got twice as much because that was a no-no. So then Shelley says, well, there's another movie that I want to see. I'm like, okay, what this time? She's like, oh, I want to see The Butler. Lee Daniels, The Butler. So I'm thinking to myself, this movie might be pretty good. It's about this guy who was, a butler at the White House for, a bunch of presidents. I thought, this has got to be a good movie. And it was an all right movie. Forrest Whitaker did an excellent job acting, decent story if it's a true story about this guy who, came from the cotton fields where there might not have been, a whole lot of this, but there was a lot of lynchings. And so at the beginning of the movie, this guy sees some lynchings and, when he's running away, his father gets killed by some white guy on the plantation and he makes it to the White House. But he's a tough old son of a gun. I'm telling you, man, he's tough on his one son, and I knew he was going to be because the one son seemed to be complete polar opposite of his father. His father learned how to be subservient and serve, and he's thinking in his mind, I'm not serving nobody. And, of course, there was another son, the well-rounded son that everybody liked. And it was a good movie. And I'm even going to say this, and I really shouldn't. But Oprah Winfrey, actually did a good job in the movie. I got to give it to her. And maybe I should get some of this for saying that. No, she was good. I'm not kidding. Stop it. Oprah did a good job in the movie. So the butler. And then Jim Chiodo, Tea Party patriot and a patriot unto his own. He was interviewed last week by Glenn Beck, but he and I had lunch the day before. And he's telling me, after I explained to him about going and seeing, the movie, he's all like, hey, I know another movie you should go and see. What's that, Jim? Runaway Slave. Oh, sure. Yeah, that's a movie I want to see. Runaway Slave. I don't think so. He says it's a good movie. I know. Enough with the slave movies. Okay, can we get some uplifting movies? Can we get some happy movies, some family movies, movies where the male characters are not wimps and wussies, but are, masculine men? Is it possible? Is that possible? And all the male images they give us now, they're so lighthearted. Oh, and let me check here because my friend sent me another message, I'm sure. I know. I love you too, man. You're one of the few guys that I can just mess with and have fun like that. So I know you're messing around, Mike. You don't have to worry about it. I know my voice is good. I don't sound like Boris Karloff. Okay, time now to get this city council meeting under order. In order. I'm just teasing you two. See? We joke. Because we can do that because we're friends, man. I've known you for 9.5 years. I was behind your bid for mayor, remember? That's right. And I still think you'd make a great mayor. But I have a feeling you're done with that stuff. I think you're saying enough is enough. I can be more effective on the council. And I would agree. I would agree. All right, 7:04. That's the time. And I was thinking about this song all weekend long. I was. And I wanted to play it for you. So here it is. The Stampeders and that Sweet City Woman here in Red's Place 2.0 on the Lakeshore Disability Network.
Well, I'm on my way to the city lights, to a pretty face that shines her light on the city nights. And I gotta catch a noon train, I gotta be there on time. Oh, it feels so good to know she waits at the end of the line. Sweet, sweet city woman, I can see your face, I can hear your voice, I can almost touch you. Sweet, sweet city woman, on the banjo and me, we got a feel for singing. Yeah, yeah. Bon, c'est bon, 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 c'est bon, bon, bon. C'est bon, 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 bon. C'est bon, 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 c'est bon, bon, bon. C'est bon, 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 bon. So long. So long, neighbors and friends, like a country morning, all smothered in dew. I just got a way to make a man feel shiny and new. And she'll sing in the evening, oh, familiar tunes. And she feeds me love and tenderness and macaroons. Sweet, sweet city woman, I can see your face, I can hear your voice, I can almost touch you. Sweet, sweet city woman, on the banjo and me, we got a feel for singing. Sweet, sweet city woman, oh, she's my sweet, 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 sweet city woman. Sweet, sweet city woman, oh, my sweet, 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 sweet city woman. Everybody, sweet, 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 sweet city woman. Sweet, 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 sweet city woman. Sweet, 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 sweet city woman.
Sweet, 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 Sweet City Woman. The Stampeders here in Rest Place 2.0 on the Lakeshore Disability Network. Do you remember that song? That came out when, if you were in your 50s, that came out when you were in junior high, like it did for me. Yeah, I remember that. Mr. Paluzzi there at Lemon Grove Junior High School. So here we are on a Monday morning. It is St. Patrick's Day 2014. And guess what? I actually have some St. Patrick's Day stuff to talk about. Let's get it here. Let's get it here. Let's get it out. Oh, and we still haven't listened to the President's weekly radio address, have we? No, we'll do that coming up in this hour. Hold on here. There it is. Yeah, we'll bring you St. Patrick's Day by the numbers. How does that sound? I think it sounds groovy. But first, I need to pull up my music, my special music for the weather. I love it personally. There it is. Yeah. It's time to take a look at the weather almanac for this Monday, the 17th day of March, 2014. Yes, it's St. Patrick's Day. That would make it the 76th day of the year, which means there are only 285 shopping days left before Christmas, honey. And 4 days until the official first day of spring. That's wild. And you know what? I'm actually very happy with the way that the snow is melting. I was very fearful that it was going to be a mess out there with the warm temperatures. We were just going to have ponding everywhere. But instead of the snow melting down and out, it's evaporating and it's drying up. And that's a good thing. And I know we're going to have some rain here soon, so that could change things as well. All right. The average high temperature on this date is 48 degrees. The average low temperature is 31. Today we're looking for highs near 30. Yesterday's high temp, 25 degrees is what we topped off at. The overnight low, 10 above. And how many of you remember just 2 years ago on this very date, we were in the midst of a heat wave. And we were worried about the tulips. We thought, man, it's going to be too hot and the tulips are going to have... That's right. We were worried way out here. Maybe you weren't. Maybe I was. Because we had a record high of 80 degrees set on this date back in 2012, and the warmth just continued. In fact, in 2012, we had a bit of a STEM fest, if I remember correctly. The sun will rise in this hour at 7:52 a.m. and then set this evening at 7:57 p.m. Taking a look at the barometer, right now it is at 30.06. It's gone down, which suggests no precipitation, right? Or is it the other way? Let's see. Humidity is at 70%. The winds are out of the east at 8 miles per hour. Visibility is perfect, and we have a wind chill of 3 degrees below zero. Here is Holland's Tulip City forecast, brought to you this hour by Discount Tire on Van Omen Drive. Yes, if you need some tires, go and see Kevin, would you? And be sure to tell him thank you, Kevin, for taking care of Red, and make your best deal with Kevin at Discount Tire on Van Omen Drive. All right, for today, there is a hazardous weather outlook, and I'm not exactly sure why that is. It's for portions of southwest lower Michigan. Because of the wind chill readings of -5 to -15, that could cause the roads to be just a bit slippery. High winds are also possible, so when you combine those two, that's why there's a hazardous weather outlook. As far as our weather forecast is concerned, today look for partly sunny skies with a high near 30. Tonight, slight chance for some snow showers, mostly cloudy, low 22. On Tuesday, we'll have a mixture of sunshine and clouds, high right around 46. Look for some rain Tuesday night, low 39. We'll have rain Wednesday morning and then probably all snow by the afternoon on Wednesday with a high near 43. And on Thursday, just a slight chance for more snow showers, otherwise partly sunny skies and a high near 37. Currently in the Tulip City, it is 9 degrees above zero. In Zeeland, it's 8 above zero. And in Shanghai, for our friend David, he's enjoying partly cloudy skies and 72 degrees. Get the latest weather forecast at weather.gov, weather.com, or right here at the program. Every 10 to 15 minutes, I like to check the weather and keep you up to date. It's 7:13. Here is the cello song of the day from my lovely daughter, Ebony, who I didn't get a chance to see this past weekend, but I know I'm going to see you this week, my daughter. In fact, you have a concert coming up, don't you? Where you and other students from your elementary school will be playing some of their instruments, violins, cellos, and things. They'll be playing a few songs. And then I believe some sixth graders are going to come, or maybe a junior high, or they're going to come and play a song. But it's a song, a night of song, and I get to hear my little daughter play her cello. So this song is for you today, Ebony. It's your motivation song. It's just titled "What's Next," and it's a funky jazz trumpet, cello, and bass, a trio, here in your father's Red's Place 2.0 on the Lakeshore Disability Network. For my daughter Ebony, it is the cello song of the day, a funky jazz, trumpet, cello, and bass trio, and the song What's Next. And I'll tell you what's coming up next. We'll take a look at St. Patrick's Day by the numbers. Next here in Red's Place 2.0, after this request by my wife. She wants to hear George Harrison's My Sweet Lord, and so Shelley, you've got it. Here in Red's Place 2.0 on the Lakeshore Disability Network. Brought to you by Disability Lakeshore Holland and the Critter Barn, where fun and learning never end.
My sweet Lord, my Lord, my Lord.
All righty. George Harrison right there, and My Sweet Lord. That was the studio version. That's why it sounded so clean, so nice, with all the orchestrations and everything. It is 7:23 here in Red's Place 2.0 on the Lakeshore Disability Network, and I'm looking for some music that'll, accompany my talking about St. Patrick's Day. But believe it or not, I can't just go right to, Irish music. It's just not happening. So I guess I'll do it this way. Irish music. The music of Ireland. Jigs and reels. After 5 seconds, and we'll be able to hear what that sounds like. We can now skip the ad. Here we go. There we go. I wish I could do a good Irish accent, but I can only do one for a few. And then I lose it. Anyway, St. Patrick. Yes. The patron saint of Ireland. But he was actually Scottish. Go figure. He was captured by raiders as a teen and was taken to Ireland, where he was enslaved for many years. He converted to Christianity during this time and had prophetic dreams about leaving and ultimately saving Ireland. After he was ordained a bishop, he preached the gospel and converted Irish pagans for 40 years. But he didn't actually drive away snakes from the country, as legend has it. That's because there were never any snakes in Ireland to begin with, so I guess we could just do an Irish jig because of that, lads and lassies. No snakes ever in Ireland, so the whole myth is a lie. Man, that's not cool. Kind of blew that for everybody, didn't they? So he didn't drive the snakes out. Does that mean that there was no Pied Piper either of Hamlet? He didn't make the mice follow him when he played his pipe? Oh, the inhumanity. Okay, here we go. 5. Oh, that's right. I'm doing St. Patrick's Day by the numbers. This comes from CNN.com. It says, when you suit up in green on Sunday and head to the St. Patrick's Day parade or your favorite Irish bar to celebrate on Monday, dropping these facts and figures about the holiday origins will impress your fellow revelers. Either that or it will annoy them and they'll make you go sit at the end of the bar. Okay? One of those two things will happen. So here we go. St. Patrick's Day by the numbers. 5. St. Patrick's Day began as a religious holiday to honor the saint who, in the 5th century, introduced Christianity to Ireland. He had nothing to do with driving any snakes out because there were no snakes. You see, now you'll be able to tell your friends this evening that little story. 1762. The first St. Patrick's Day parade happened in New York on this date in that year. 133 million. That's how many people in the U.S. plan to celebrate St. Patrick's Day today in 2014. Let me ask you, do you plan on doing anything special for St. Patrick's Day? I have to be honest. As I get older, year after year, I think less and less about St. Patrick's Day and going out and drinking. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm getting to the point in my life where I'm about to just stop drinking alcoholic beverages altogether. Because let's face it, what is the real point of drinking an alcoholic beverage? It's not because you're so parched and you need a drink with alcohol in it to make things better. No, that's not it. You drink alcoholic beverages for the buzz. Let's face it. Let's just be honest. Well, I got to tell you, I have had so many drinks where there was no buzz involved that I felt like I just took that $7, $8, $9, or $10 and just threw it in the air. And then after that, I thought to myself, so you mean you really came here hoping to get a buzz? That's all? Then I got thinking more. So that's all you're looking for is a buzz. You're not looking for any refreshment. There's no drink that tastes good. It's just a buzz. How about this? Have you had enough of a buzz in your life? Or do you really need to continue getting the buzz? And after thinking about it, no. Shelly and I have had a bottle of tequila and a bottle of vodka sitting on our little shelf there, probably now for, listen, we probably bought that back in December or January. The bottles are probably about half empty now. That's how much we drink. It's just not that important, because I know that we realize deep down inside that's the only reason why you drink is for a buzz. And we know this, and we don't want the buzz. We're not looking for the buzz. What we do is every so often one of us will take a look at those bottles sitting up there and go, oh, hey, look, we've got some tequila and some vodka. I guess we better make a drink. That's how it works. And then we go days, weeks looking at those bottles and don't even think about making a drink. Just moving them out of the way so we can get to the toothpicks, or moving them out of the way so I can get the dishcloth, or wipe that ketchup that's splattered up there. Never even think about having a drink. I'm almost sure we're getting to the end of that. We have to be. It's just, what's the point? All I want is something refreshing. And I'm starting to think it's time to let the Coca-Cola go too. I've drank Coca-Cola for longer than I can remember, and maybe it's just time for that to go too. All the high fructose. Can you imagine? I've just been filtering that through my body, over my teeth, for like 30, 40 years. I'm surprised my teeth haven't rotted completely out of my head. Yeah, I'm thinking grape juice and water. That's going to be it for the future. I'm starting to feel that way. Okay, back to St. Patrick's Day by the numbers. 83.2%. 83.2%. That's the percentage of those celebrating who plan on wearing green. That other, 16.8%, they just expect to be pinched. That's it. They're not going to wear green. They're going to get pinched by someone. 4.8 billion. That's the expected St. Patrick's Day spending in 2014. 4.8 billion? What, they're going to spend more on drinks today than they spent over the holidays for gifts and things? Oh, man. Something's wrong here. 30.5. 30.5. That's the percent of Americans who plan to go to a bar or restaurant to celebrate. I hope that number's been going down over the years. Oh, here's a good one. Here's a good one. 1 in 10,000. 1 in 10,000. That is the occurrence of a white four-leaf clover for every common three-leaved clover. 1 in 10,000. I've never seen a white clover, number one, but I have found a four-leaf clover before. I sure did when I was a kid, maybe 4 years old or so. This is when we were living at my grandmother's house. On the top floor, she had, a two-bedroom home, and then you walk down some stairs outside, and there was a two-bedroom apartment. I told you this before. Many of her children used that apartment to get on their feet before springing off into their own home. So I spent a lot of time there with my grandmother. She was my caregiver. Caregiver? I mean, she was my babysitter. And I remember one day out there in the front going through her garden, and then she had some clovers there, and everyone was always telling me, you'll never find a four-leaf clover. Well, I was the kind of kid, and I'm still the kind of a man who, if you tell me that I can't do something, and it's something that I want to check out, I'm going to check it out anyway. So I spent a long time, I'm sure a few hours, looking through all the clovers until finally I could not believe it. I picked one out, and it had 4 leaves, a 4-leaf clover. And I ran to the house, and I showed Granny. I went, Granny, look, I got a 4-leaf clover. And she's like, well, that's very impressive, Danny. That's what they called me. That was my nickname. That's very good, Danny. And I said, now I'm going to have good luck all day. And I'm telling you, I did have good luck all day. My father, he came home from work, and it was rare that he would come home and just give me money. But on this particular day, he came home early, and he gave me money. And I went, well, Daddy, is it okay if I walk down to John's store and get some stuff? And he was like, sure. I mean, I walked down to John's store. I'm sure I must have got some Hostess Twinkies, because that's what I loved. Grape soda, which I also loved, knee-high grape, and Fritos. And I'm sure I bought a toy or two. It was just a great day. I think my mother made one of her cakes with a 7-minute frosting on it. I mean, it was just a perfect day. And the 4-leaf clover, I should have kept that thing. But I wasn't thinking. I'm like, time to go find another one. And I'll give you just a few more. In fact, I'll keep referencing back throughout the morning here. 2,900. 2,900. That is the number of species of snakes in Ireland. And of course, according to legend, St. Patrick drove all the snakes from Ireland, which we found out this morning is not true. But now, if there are some 2,900 species, perhaps we should have a seance and see if we can't raise the spirit of St. Patrick to drive out the current batch of snakes. That is the most ridiculous thing that I've ever said, but I'm still proud that I said it. All right, it is now 7:33 here in Red's Place 2.0, and I'm trying to find this song that I'm playing right now so I can turn it off. Hello? How do you turn this off? Oh, no, that didn't do it either. Hold on. That's not it either. Hold on, we're going to find how to turn this music off. There it goes. No, that didn't. Okay, let's see here. How about this? There we go. Music of Ireland is now gone. Being replaced by the music of James Taylor. Yeah, here is his big hit, Mexico, from about 1975, here in Red's Place 2.0 on the Lakeshore Disability Network. Coming up, the President's weekly radio address and the GOP response.
Way down here, you need a reason to move. Feel a fool, running your stateside dreams. Lose your load, leave your mind behind, baby Jane. Oh, Mexico, you sound so simple, I just got to go. The sun's so hot, I forgot to go home. Guess I'll have to go now. Americana got the sleepy eye, but his body's still shaking like a live wire. Sleepy senorita with the eyes on fire. Oh, Mexico, it sounds so sweet with the sun sinking low. The moon so bright, like to light up the night, make everything alright. Baby's hungry and the money's all gone. The folks back home don't want to talk on the phone. She gets so long letters, sends back a postcard. Times are hard. Oh, down in Mexico, I've never really been, so I don't really know. Oh, Mexico, I guess I'll have to go. Oh, Mexico, I've never really been, but I sure like to go. Then whoa, Mexico, I guess I'll have to go now. Talking about in Mexico, Mexico, and a honky tonk down in Mexico. Mexico.
James Taylor here at Red's Place 2.0 on the Lakeshore Disability Network. Hey, tomorrow morning I'm going to have a pretty interesting interview with a gentleman. He is an author, and his name is Edward L. Brownlee. He lives in Illinois. He's known the Lord since his childhood, and he wrote a book. It's called Rapture Factor on America. And here it says, the Bible teaches us that God made all nations from the blood of one man named Adam to cover the face of the earth. He also decreed beforehand the times for every individual and nations to live upon the earth, and has set limits of their dwelling. You'll find that in Acts 17:26. The United States was set on course for a divine purpose from God. I don't think anybody would argue that fact. God allowed the United States to become a nation for several reasons. His book, The Rapture Factor, brings out those reasons and the reasons for the coming demise of the United States in the world. And I know that sounds scary to some, but if you are a born-again believer, then you know that the Word of God tells us that this current world that we're living in is going to be destroyed, and that a new heavens and a new earth will replace it. So you should not fear losing this world and the things that are in it. You should not fear that, because you're going to gain something much greater, much greater. And as such, I thought this would make a real good interview. One of our viewer friends, John Bueno, he has the gift of prophecy. And I've been waiting for John and I to get together so that, you know, he could talk with you, share some of the visions that he has been given by God, and to talk about his experience. And we're going to have him on But tomorrow morning, I really hope that you'll be with me when we talk with this gentleman, Edward L. Brownlee. His book, again, is called The Rapture Factor on America, and that interview will be coming up tomorrow morning at about 10 after 8, right here in Red's Place 2.0 on the Lakeshore Disability Network. It is 7:38, and I believe what we should do is this. Take a quick look at Holland's Tulip City forecast, brought to you by Discount Tire on Van Oman Drive. If you need tires, stop by Discount Tire on Van Oman Drive and ask for Kevin and say, thanks for giving Red a deal, and then make your best deal with Kevin at Discount Tire on Van Oman Drive. As far as today is concerned, it's going to be pretty nice, I think. A little cold. We'll have partly sunny skies with a high near 30. But when you factor in the wind chill values as low as -12, it's going to feel more like 15 above zero. Tonight, there's a slight chance for some snow showers. Otherwise, look for mostly cloudy skies with a low of 22. We'll have that sun-cloud mix on Tuesday with a high near 46. A little rain on Tuesday night with a low of 39. And a rain-snow mix on Wednesday. Very likely, I see here at what? 80%? Yeah. Look for a high on Wednesday of 43 degrees. So that means the snow won't be hanging around. Currently in the Tulip City, it's 9 above zero, 7 above zero in Zeeland under what look like mostly clear skies. In Detroit, it's cloudy and 10 degrees above zero. And in Shanghai, China, where one of our viewer friends is at right now, it's partly cloudy and 72 degrees. And as I said, I don't hope that you have to work all day long. I hope you get out and enjoy some of that warm weather, because that's the only way that really you can bring it back to us. We need you to absorb it into your skin and then come back here to Michigan and give each one of us a big bear hug and transfer that warmth. Yeah, we'll take a look at Holland's Tulip City forecast again in about 10 to 15 minutes. Again, and it's brought to you by Discount Tire on Van Oman Drive. Anybody know what day today is? I'll give you one guess. That's right, Monday. Here's the Mamas and the Papas in Red's Place 2.0 on the Lakeshore Disability Network.
Monday, so good to me. Monday morning, it was all I hoped it would be. Oh, Monday morning couldn't guarantee. Would still be here with me.
Monday, can't trust that day. Monday, sometimes it just turns out that way.
Oh, Monday morning, you gave me no warning of what was to be.
Oh, Monday, how could you leave and not take me?
Every other day,
Every other day of the week is fine, yeah.
but whenever Monday comes,
You can find me crying all of the time.
Monday, so good to me. Monday morning, it was all I hoped it would be. But
In the cool of the evening when everything is getting kind of groovy, I call you up and ask you if you'd like to go with me and see a movie. First you say no, you got some plans for the night, and then you stop and say, alright, love is kinda crazy with a spooky little girl like you. You always keep me guessing, I never seem to know what you are thinking. And if a fella looks at you, it's for sure your little eye will be a winking. I get confused cause I don't know where I stand, and then you smile and hold my hand. Love is kinda crazy with a spooky little girl like you. Spooky. If you decide someday to stop this little game that you are playing, I'm gonna tell you all the things my heart's been a dying to be saying. Just like a ghost, you've been a haunting my dreams, so I propose on Halloween. Love is kinda crazy with a spooky little girl like you. Spooky, spooky, oh, oh, alright. I said spooky. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the Classics 4 right there, and Spooky here in Res Place 2.0. I wanted to read one more thing from Mr. Edward L. Brown Lee's bio. He says here, do you want to know the real reasons God ordained the rise of the nation called the United States? Who were the real people God planted and used to bring blessings upon a new nation, setting a foundation for success? The Rapture Factor, his book, takes a look at how this giant called the United States became a nation and its divine purpose in earth. Learn how God used certain individuals by his divine providence to keep this giant through all of her struggles, surviving to be used in blessing the world. And his book takes a look at factors that are causing this giant to fall and the future collapse as a world power in these last days. I don't think any Christian can disagree that these are the last days. Now, whether that's last days in terms of weeks, months, years, or decades, no one knows, but I can tell you in my spirit, I don't feel like we're decades away from anything. I guess I'm one who feels like we're years away. Just take a look at things happening in the world today. In fact, one perfect example, you've got we've got the problem over there in the Ukraine, even though they voted today, and I read a report that said the vote said that they want to join the Soviet Union. They want to be a part of Russia, rather. We've got the missing Malaysian plane and the possible threat of some kind of, nuclear action or some kind of terrorist action against the United States. We've got troubles from coast to coast. And what does the president talk about during his weekly radio address? Giving a raise to people.
Hi, everybody. In this year of action, I'm doing everything I can, with or without Congress, to expand opportunity for more Americans.
He's also doing everything he can, with or without Congress, to try and rattle a saber at Russia over this whole Ukrainian thing.
This week, I ordered a review of our nation's overtime rules to give more Americans the chance to earn the overtime pay they've worked for.
You know, I think this is really great on the president's part. This is something that is really important. Not working on, say, alleviating our dependency on foreign oil through the Keystone Pipeline. No. Let's worry about getting people overtime. This is how he's going to stimulate the economy.
Here's why this matters. Our businesses have created 8.7 million new jobs over the past 4 years. But in many ways, the trends that have battered the middle class for decades have grown even starker. While those at the top are doing better than ever, average wages have barely budged.
Well, those at the top are doing better. He's at the top, by the way, so he knows what he's talking about. When he entered office in 2008, his net worth was somewhere around $1.2 million. Last year, just before the year ended, I read his net worth $12 million. So he knows what he's talking about. The people at the top have done better.
Too many Americans are working harder than ever just to keep up. We've got to build an economy that works for everybody, not just for the fortunate few.
How many times have we heard that from this guy? A dozen? 2 dozen?
We know from our history that our economy grows best from the middle out, when growth is more widely shared. So we've got to restore opportunity for all.
When growth is shared. But he's talking about the middle class. It's funny, he says middle class, and then he says for all. And then he says middle class, and then he says for all. And then he says shared, but then he says all.
The idea that with hard work and responsibility, you can get ahead. Now, for more than 75 years, the 40-hour work week and the overtime protections that come with it have helped countless workers climb the ladder of success. But today, an overtime exception originally meant for highly paid employees now applies to workers who earn as little as $23,660 a year.
I just wonder about this guy. He is so concerned about those little people.
It doesn't matter if you do mostly physical labor or if you work 50, 60, even 70 hours a week. Your employer may not have to pay you a single extra dime.
That's called being a salaried employee. Okay? Don't most people have an option? I guess if you're a truly white collar, then the salary scale is based on, the pay scale is based on a salary. And if you're blue collar, I guess, it's hourly unless you're a supervisor, in which case then you go on salary. But see, that works both ways. For him to be crying about it the way he is, it's just a little disingenuous, if I may. Because that same person who, may have to work 60 hours at that locked-in salary, if that same person only worked 2 hours, they'd get the same salary. So I think it kind of balances out, because I've worked in jobs where my supervisors worked as many hours as me, 40 plus, and oftentimes they worked less than me. When 4:30 came, they were out the door. I'm the one staying there doing the overtime. So I'm just not sure why all the focus, all the emphasis right here, right now on the overtime, as if that's going to be the thing that'll just kick our finances right back into gear and everything will be hunky-dory. And then we'll deal with what's going on in the Ukraine and the missing plane and the...
In some cases, this rule makes it possible for workers earning a salary to actually be paid less than the minimum wage. And it means the business owners who treat their employees fairly can be undercut by competitors who don't. That's not right. So we're going to update those overtime rules to restore that basic principle that if you have to work more, you should be able to earn more. And
let's get them all working more and earning more. Working more is also part of the equation.
Do it by consulting workers and businesses and simplifying the system so it's easier for everyone. Americans have spent too long working more and getting less in return. So wherever and whenever I can make sure that our economy rewards hard work and responsibility, that's what I'm going to do. Because what every American wants is a paycheck that lets them support their families, know a little economic security, and pass down some hope and optimism to their kids. That's something worth fighting for, and I'll keep fighting for it as long as I'm president. Thanks, and have a great weekend.
Okay. And now the GOP response? Are they going to talk about the economy? No. Are they going to talk about what's happening in Crimea? No. Are they going to talk about the missing plane and what that may mean? No. Are they going to? No. He's going to talk about Obamacare.
Good morning. My name is Bill Johnson, and I'm proud to represent Eastern and Southeastern Ohio in the House of Representatives. 4 years ago today, President Obama came to our state and promised our seniors that his health care law would protect their benefits. He said this: if you like your plan, you can keep your plan. If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. I don't want to interfere with people's relationships between them and their doctors.
Now, look, he is making a good point. I just think that there are other things that we could be discussing, too. Like the president could have taken this opportunity to share with the American people his thoughts about what's going on over there in the Ukraine. Let's stay current. Instead of using this as a kind of a political platform to espouse their, party ideas. That's all we're getting. I'm saying the same here with the GOP. There's so much more they could talk about. But they're just hung up on this Obamacare thing, and I agree. It's a big deal. There were lies told to us. You can keep your doctor, keep your plan. Found out that wasn't true. I get it. But to sit up here week after week and harp on it, I guess they're trying to make sure that the American people don't forget or something, and they want our support in helping to repeal. I don't know why you need our support. We've already shown that a lot of us are not happy with what's going on, and that maybe there needs to be more tweaking done to the law, which the president can do and has done since the law has been enacted. Is that how it normally works? You get a law and it's there, the law of the land. But, well, I didn't really like this part of it, so you get your wrench out and you just tweak it while it's over there. But it's not being tweaked with the full, authority and consent of the Senate and the House. It's just the president tweaking it on his own. I don't like that. Man, I see this. So I get their point, but can't we move on?
Now the reality is that not only is the president's health care law interfering with these relationships, it's ending them altogether. Because of Obamacare, many seniors enrolled in the popular Medicare Advantage program are paying higher premiums and out-of-pocket costs. Many are losing access to their physicians, and many more will unless the president takes action. Last month, Republican leaders wrote a letter to the president asking him to develop a plan to deal with these problems. Nothing was done. In our weekly address, we urged him to listen to stories of seniors in Florida paying more money for fewer choices, less access, and far less peace of mind. Still nothing. Just this week, a bipartisan coalition of more than 200 members of the House and Senate came together to press the Obama administration on this issue. Because this transcends politics. This is about keeping the promises we make to the American people.
That's a hard one to refute, to slam, to poke fun at. Our government should follow through with the promises that they make to us, their bosses. Because if they don't, we should fire them.
In January, I sat down with a group of local doctors to talk about all this. One told me that many seniors in our area who need to see a specialist will now have to drive up to Cleveland or Pittsburgh to receive care. Another cited hundreds of cases in which patients were blindsided by these changes. And last month, I received a note from a cancer survivor in Poland, Ohio, who said that because of the health care law, she and her husband are losing the eye doctor they've been going to for nearly 30 years. Here's what she had to say.
Isn't it amazing, the stories that we continue hearing about how the Affordable Health Care Plan is providing the complete opposite of what it promised to? And I know there's got to be, success stories out there, but I'm under the impression that there are more horror stories than there are success stories.
We've always taken care of ourselves. We had 4 children, took care of their education, and never asked for handouts. Now, we are older, and we have to be concerned about not having the doctors and services we like and will need. Remember how the president said he didn't want to interfere in these relationships? More than 794,000 seniors in Ohio rely on Medicare Advantage. That's hundreds of thousands of broken promises in waiting in just one state. Older Americans deserve better. They deserve the benefits they were promised. If the president won't help us repeal this law in its entirety, he ought to step up here, do the right thing, and protect our seniors. And he ought to do this soon.
All right, and that is it. And I have some concerns because soon I will be a senior, and I'm going to be the one having to deal with this crap that Obama has set forth. So, yeah. Oh, it is 7:59, and why don't we take a quick look at Holland's Tulip City forecast from weather.gov, brought to you by Discount Tire on Van Omen Drive. Today, look for partly sunny skies with a high near 30. Wind chill values as low as -12. Tonight, slight chance for some snow showers, otherwise cloudy skies and a low of 22. A sun-cloud mix on Tuesday, high near 46. And look for a little rain on Tuesday night with a low around 39. In the Tulip City, under, I guess it's mostly clear skies. I haven't been out to look. But we've got 9 above zero, 7 above zero over in Zeeland. And of course, you can get the latest weather forecast at weather.gov. Or just wait, in about 10 minutes or so, I will check the weather again right here in Red's Place 2.0. Thurston Harris. Is that a familiar name? Well, if you were born in 1959, you might remember hearing this as a young child playing on your mother or father's radio. It's the song Little Bitty Pretty One, here in Red's Place 2.0 on the Lakeshore Disability Network. Oh, that's a cool tune. Took me right back to my early childhood, and I hope you enjoyed that too. Yeah. Little Bitty Pretty One, Thurston Harris, 1957. So, St. Patrick's Day, by the numbers. Today is St. Patrick's Day, and some folks are going to go out and do themselves a fair amount of drinking. There are pub crawls all over the place on St. Patrick's Day. And I never heard that phrase until I got here to the Midwest. In fact, until I got here to Michigan. That's when I first heard about pub crawls, and I thought, geez, how obvious can you be? You're planning a night for people to go out and get schlocked. Yeah, we're having a pub crawl. You'll just crawl from pub to pub. Oof. Yeah, there'll be no drinking tonight for Shelly and Red. There's really no need for it. Yes, a certain day of the year you choose to celebrate to drink alcohol and kiss your liver goodbye. Yeah, I think we're pretty much done. We're almost done drinking. I think with the little amount of vodka that's left in the bottle that we have at home and a little bit of tequila, I don't know. I could be there, this summer. It's very possible. All right, back to St. Patrick's Day by the numbers. Number 16. 16. That's the number of places in the United States named Dublin. 7. That's the number of places in the United States named Shamrock. So Dublin is more popular than Shamrock. I wonder if anyone ever names their kids Shamrock or Dublin. Let's check Hollywood. All right, 4. The number 4. That's Ireland's global rank in beer consumption per capita as registered in 2011. 4th. And we've always been told through jokes and things that the Irish are really big-time drinkers. I would have put them a little bit higher than 4. All right, $19.99. That's the price of a Kiss Me, I'm Irish t-shirt that's on sale at cafepress.com. I wonder if that's the cheapest Kiss Me, I'm Irish price. 34.2 million. 34.2 million. That's how many people in the United States have Irish ancestry as of 2012. That's a pretty large number, man. Pretty large number. And finally, 530. 530. That's the amount of calories in a 12-ounce McDonald's limited edition green shamrock shake. The large 22-ounce size has 820 calories. So either way, you're putting on the fat. And I guess if it's just for one day of the year, have your limited edition green shamrock shake and then go walk about a quarter of a mile, and that should take care of things, I would imagine. Bobby Helms. Remember him? Well, let's go back to 1957 again with Bobby Helms and his tune, My Special Angel, here in Red's Place 2.0 on the Lakeshore Disability Network.
Angel, angel, oh, angel, angel, oh, you are my special angel, sent from up above. The Lord smiled down on me and sent an angel to love. You are my special angel, right from paradise. I know that you're an angel. Heaven is in your eyes. A smile from your lips bring the summer sunshine. The tears from your eyes bring the rain. I feel your touch, your warm embrace, and I'm in heaven again. You are my special angel through eternity. I'll have my special angel here to watch over me. A smile from your lips brings the summer sunshine. The tears from your eyes bring the rain. I feel your touch, your warm embrace, and I'm in heaven again.
Bobby Helms and my special angel here in Red's Place 2.0 on the Lakeshore Disability Network. So, St. Patrick's Day. Did you know that St. Patrick is said to have used a three-leaf clover to explain the Holy Trinity to pagans of Ireland? How clever. Well, look here, me lads and lassies. One leaf is for the Father, the Heavenly Father, who created everything that you see. The second leaf is for the Son, the Word of God made flesh and dwelt among us. And the third leaf is for the Holy Spirit. This is the operating agent of God. This is what makes everything happen. Yes, the Holy Trinity. I love that story. Let's see, what else do we have for you? St. Patrick is known as one of the great Catholic missionaries. Traditionally, in Ireland on St. Patrick's Day, people attend church in the morning and pray for missionaries. St. Patrick's Day often falls during Lent, when many Christians fast. However, the Irish Christians, and now many people around the world, take exception for March 17th as they celebrate St. Patrick's Day. That's right, they take a day off from Lent to go ahead and do some drinking and dancing and, festivals, and they figure that at that time God's turning a blind eye. So it's okay, I'll let you guys have fun for one day, but then after that, get back on your Lent schedule. I've often wondered about this Catholic Church. I'm not trying to say anything here negative. It's just that, didn't Jesus come to fulfill the law? Because we were told that we couldn't live by the letter of the law. That's what the Ten Commandments were given for, to show us just how messed up we were. But it seems like some religions keep their parishioners under the law, under the yoke of the law. And that just doesn't seem right. I don't know. Although Irish people traditionally wear shamrocks and the colors of the Irish flag, that's green, white, and orange, on St. Patrick's Day, the rest of the world has embraced wearing green. So in other words, they don't do that in Ireland. They look at us and go, why on earth are they all wearing green? Sure and begorra. I love saying sure and begorra. The Irish have had strong cultural influences on America for centuries. The first St. Patrick's Day parade was held in New York City and was organized by Irish colonists in 1762, 14 years before the Declaration of Independence was signed. Chicago began dyeing its river green to celebrate St. Patrick's Day in 1964. Today, it uses food coloring, which is environmentally safe, to turn the river green. The White House and many community centers across the country will dye the water in their fountains green to commemorate the holiday. I remember on our school campus when I was in elementary school, everyone would just go over to little George and he'd lift up his nose and we would see the green boogers, and that would be the green, and then we would celebrate with some dancing and vomiting. Okay, never mind. The traditional celebratory Irish meal of St. Patrick's Day is bacon and cabbage. Well, I like the bacon part. But here in the United States and much of the rest of the world, St. Patrick's Day is celebrated with corned beef. Why do people in the world like to change everything? There's even a corned beef and rice sandwich eating contest on St. Patrick's Day. Again, the people in Ireland eat a meal of bacon and cabbage. Why aren't we eating that to celebrate St. Patrick's Day? Maybe because here in America and the rest of the world, they're like, oh, bacon and cabbage? Oh! I don't know. I don't think corned beef is much better. Two more. Kiss me, I'm Irish is a phrase that many St. Patrick's Day revelers use on the holiday. But Irish people have not always had such a loving reception in this country. When Catholic Irish fled the famine in their country in the mid-1800s and came here to the U.S., they were seen by some as poor, uneducated drains on the economy who had the wrong religion. But Catholic Irish immigrants soon became a powerful social group in urban centers, and politicians even sought the support of the Green Machine. And if you remember correctly, in the 1960s, a member of the Green Machine became president of these United States. I still find it amazing that people actually sat around and said, is it possible that an Irish Catholic could be president? I thought it was based on who's best for the job. Apparently not. And our final fact for St. Patrick's Day is although St. Patrick's Day is deeply rooted in Christian faith, the secular world has adopted the celebration, much like St. Nicholas as Santa or St. Valentine on Valentine's Day. The secular celebration of St. Patrick's Day often includes leprechaun imagery. Leprechauns are a part of Ireland's pagan roots. You notice that Satan is so clever. Everything that happens in Christendom, he has a copy in the pagan world, in the secular world, always trying to confuse people. Jesus Christ was born on December 25th. Santa Claus delivers presents on the 25th. The whole thing. Anyway, let me continue here. Leprechauns are part of Ireland's pagan roots, which included belief in many gods and supernatural beings, such as fairies. In fact, Disney's 1959 film, Darby O'Gill and the Little People, was such a hit in the United States that it has strengthened the association of leprechauns with Ireland, even though the two really don't go together. So I think that's quite enough, don't you? Information about St. Patrick's Day 2014. If you're going to go out and you're going to revel, please do so responsibly and have a designated driver and have enough aspirin for tomorrow morning. Yeesh. Remember the group Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young? Well, here they are together in one of their biggest hits, Southern Cross, here in Red's Place 2.0 on the Lakeshore Disability Network.
Got out of town on a boat from the Southern Islands, sailing to reach for a following sea. She was making for the trades on the outside and the downhill run to Papa Ede. Off the wind on this heading line, the Marquesas. You got 80 feet of a water line, nicely making way in a noisy bar in Avalon. I tried to call you, but on a midnight watch I realized why twice you ran away. Think about how many times I had fallen. Spirits are using me, larger voices calling. What heaven brought you and me cannot be forgotten. I have been around the world, looking for that woman girl who knows love dead and and you know it will. When you see the Southern Cross for the first time, you understand now why you came this way. 'Cause the truth you might be running from is so small, but it's as big as the promise of a coming day. So I'm sailing for tomorrow, my dreams are a-dying, and my love is an anchor tied to you, tied with a silver chain. I have my ship and all her flags are a-flying. She is all that I have left, and music is her name. Think about how many times I've had fallen. Spirits are using me, larger voices calling. What heaven brought you and me cannot be forgotten. I have been around the world, looking for that woman. tested, and we never failed to fail. It was the easiest thing to do. You will survive being bested. Somebody fine will come along, make me forget about loving you. In the Southern Cross.
Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young in that Southern Cross here in Red's Place 2.0 on the Lakeshore Disability Network. Let's do this one more time, and then we will say hasta la vista, baby. Time to take a look at the Weather Almanac for this St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, 2014. It's the 77th day of the year, which means there are only 287 more days to go, and then it's next year. The average high temperature on this date is 48 degrees. The average low temperature, 31. You and I, we are looking for highs right around 30 today. Yesterday's high temp, 25. The overnight low, 10 above. And the record high and record low of 80 and 18 were set on this date in 2012 and 2005, respectively. That was a lot. Did you get it all? The sun's going to set this evening at 7:57 p.m. Our barometer is at 30.06. We've got 70% humidity. The winds are out of the east at 8 miles per hour. The dew point is at 1 degree, and the wind chill is at 3 degrees below zero. So that means we need to take a look at Holland's Tulip City forecast. Come on back here. Come on back here. There we go. Holland's Tulip City forecast from weather.gov, where we find today chance for some sunshine and a few clouds, high near 30 degrees, wind chill values as low as negative 12. So that'll take that 30-degree temperature and make it feel more like, 19. Tonight, there's a slight chance for some snow showers. Look for a low of 22. Winds 10 to 13 miles an hour. On Tuesday, partly sunny skies with a high near 46. Southerly winds 11 to 15, so that's going to be a little breezy. Tuesday night, we'll have some rain. 80% coverage. That'll help to melt some of that snow. Look for a low of 39 on Tuesday night. Wednesday, we'll have morning rain, afternoon snow, and a high around 43 degrees. Snow showers again on Wednesday night, low 28, and on Thursday, partly sunny skies with a high of 37. Currently in the Tulip City, under partly cloudy skies, 9 above zero. In Zeeland, it's 7 above zero. Over in Detroit, cloudy and 10 above, 22 degrees and breezy in Chicago under partly cloudy skies. And in Shanghai, Taiwan, it's partly cloudy and 72 degrees. Get the latest weather forecast anytime at weather.gov or on your smartphone, because once I'm done, you won't be able to get the weather here. Nah, it ain't going to happen. 8:23 is the time, and we pretty much made it through everything that we wanted to get to today. Pretty much. Coming up tomorrow, as I said, I have a very powerful interview with a gentleman who wrote a book about these United States. In fact, let me pull that up really fast. Okay, that information is gone. I don't have my, I don't have my book here that tells me everything. Just hold on one second. Well, just check the Facebook page off and on today, because I'll be posting a couple of messages letting you know about the interview and its time tomorrow. So it's 8:24. How much time do I have? 7. I have enough time for 2 more songs. So how about we start off this very brief 2-song set with one of my favorites from the Beach Boys, God Only Knows, here in Red's Place 2.0 on the Lakeshore Disability Network. 9 degrees above zero now in downtown Holland, hoping for a high today near 30 degrees. That would be nice.
I may not always love you, but long as there are stars above you, you never need to doubt it. I'll make you so sure about it. God only knows what I'd be without you. If you should ever leave me, the life would still go on, believe me. The world could show nothing to me, so what good would living do me? God only knows what I'd be without you. God only knows what I'd be without you. If you should ever leave me, the life would still go on, believe me. The world could show nothing to me, so what good would living do me? God only knows what I'd be without you. God only knows what I'd be without. God only knows what I'd be without. God only knows what I'd be without. God only knows what I'd be. God only knows what I'd be without. God only knows what I'd be without.
The Beach Boys here in Red's Place 2.0. Well, that is going to do it for me today. I'll be back tomorrow morning at 5:30, and we'll start it again. Red's Place 2.0 here on the Lakeshore Disability Network, brought to you by Disability Lakeshore Holland and the Critter Barn, where fun and learning never ends. There we go. All righty, and special thanks also to our new sponsor for at least the next couple of weeks, and that would be Discount Tire on Van Omen Drive. I went there over the weekend, and I'll just tell you this story briefly. I bought some tires there a year and a half ago, and because of the car that I have, and I've done some reading online, I've looked at some blogs, people who have this particular model have the same complaints. And one of the big complaints is that the car is so heavy, and it was not weighted well, that the weight of the car causes the tires to kind of go in a little bit. Not out, but in, because of the weight. And so consequently, the inside of the treads get the most wear. Well, last week I decided to look at my tires because I had my wheel cranked all the way, and I could see that strip on the inside was completely bald. And then I could see on the outside it was starting to get there too. And so I got in a panic because my unemployment is exhausted. There is no more unemployment. I had $300 that I had saved from my first donation out when I called for donations for Red's Place way back. I still was holding on to $300 of that money because I was going to use that for advertising or something. But I ended up having to put it in to our regular account for bills. And so I was thinking, man, I don't know. I got to get some new tires, because what if I get the call to go to Chicago for that interview, or if I get called anywhere for an interview and I have to drive? I don't want to have a flat tire, but I know that the tires on my car cost a pretty penny. Yeah, because I've got 20-inch rims or 18-inch rims or something that's bigger than the normal size. So tires for me run about, close to from anywhere $150 to $200 a tire. So I was looking at, $800 for tires, and I know I didn't have that. And I didn't want to go back to Discount Tire with my, warranty and say, "Can I get 4 new tires?" Because I just hate hearing the word no. I've heard no so much in my life that if there's a situation afoot where I could possibly hear the word no, I won't go forward. I won't venture forward because I just hate no. I hate rejection. But Shelley encouraged me, go on up there and ask them, because you have nothing to lose. All they can do is say, you know what they can say. That's not what I want to hear. But I went ahead and got my courage up and went to Discount Tire, show the guy the warranty, told him what was going on. He goes, "Well, we really can't, give you new tires for that." And I was honest with him. I told him, look, the wear on the tires is not because of any environmental thing. It's my car. The way it was built, the weight causes it to wear out that way. And part of the warranty does say, if you have unusual wear. but because it's mostly my fault because of the car, he couldn't do anything. And I understood that. So I heard my no, the no that I was trying to avoid. And here's what I was thinking while I was standing there. I thought to turn to my earthly father. I was going to call my father up and go, Dad, could you loan me some money and I'll pay you back over a period of time or when I get my job or whatever, because I need to get the tires. I'm looking at $800. Then he's, showing me on the computer screen and he's working some things out. And actually he came up with $600. $600. And I thought, okay, we still have about $200 left over from the last paycheck. I know we got to pay $150 on the cable bill, or otherwise they're going to cut that off. But I got to have tires. So maybe if I call the cable company, talk to them, and I was going through all this stuff in my head. But it was all based on calling my earthly father and asking him for a loan. It didn't even occur to me to go to my heavenly father, because I got to be honest with you. In times like that, I just feel that, man, like it was right there, right now. I got to get tires. How am I going to pray to God? How is he going to do anything to change things right now? So in my little humanity, I thought I'll just call my earthly father. But then I thought, this dude's on a fixed income. He has no money. You can't bother him. You just got to, I don't know what. So the guy's showing me on the computer, well, I can get you some tires. I can get you 4 tires for $600. I'm like, man, I can't do that, really. Maybe if I just got 2 tires. I go, what if I just got 2 tires? Well, that's not going to do you any good because you can still, I know. I'm just trying to figure something out. So something struck me in my mind. I never thought to ask this before because it's Discount Tire. Why would they have used tires? But something struck me in my head. And so I said, well, so what about used tires? Can you tell me where I can go and buy used tires at? I know that you're not in the business of giving your competition business, but surely people come in here like me who are unemployed, who have no resources, and they can't afford your tires. So don't you direct them someplace? So when I said that, one of the guys helping me, Kevin, says, sometimes we do get used tires from time to time. I mean, I can go back and check. And I said, would you please? We got nothing to lose. So he goes back to check the used tires, and I'm talking with this other guy, and he's offering absolutely no help. He does not want to tell me where I can get used tires. Oh, I don't know. I think there's a place on Chicago Drive, but I don't. So after that, I just thought, never mind. I guess I did figure I'll just rest on the Lord. If I have to go to Chicago, I'll pray and ask God to cover me so that I don't have a flat tire. And then about that time, the guy comes back and he goes, well, you never believe this. And I'm like, what? And he goes, we actually have 4 tires that'll fit your car. And they're practically brand new. And I'm like, how's that? And he goes, well, someone bought the tires. And then he gave me the reason. They brought them back. And they didn't want them. They didn't like them, whatever. And there's nothing wrong with them. They have about 50 miles on them. And then he showed me the tires. And you know those little rubber things that stick up all over the tires when you buy them brand new? Well, on this tire, I couldn't see them because they had been worn down, but you could see the little dots where they were, which means they had just been worn down, which means that, like he said, there's probably 50 or less miles on these tires. So I'm going, great. So what do we do? How much for these? And the price that he gave me for the used tires was like $300. And I was like, man, that is a great deal. I will go into debt. I have to buy the 4 tires. I know how much money we have left. I still had $150 left in that account because I had moved some over so we could buy groceries or whatever. Still had $150. I moved that $150 over, had enough to buy the tires. So I'm sitting there doing my Facebook thing. And I want to let people know that I got this great deal and that God is so good. It reminds me of Luke. There's a scripture in Luke 6:8, Luke 8:6. But it says, to those that believe in God, to those that heed the word, God will cause men to give unto your bosom, shaken down, pressed together, and overflowing will men give unto your bosom. I'm telling you, this has been applied to my life a few times, and I feel good when it happens, but I always think too, I'm not worthy. But again, God gave me favor with that guy at Discount Tire, because as I'm typing this stuff on Facebook, I was sitting there thinking, man, I just took a picture for these guys of Discount Tire, of the place, and I'm telling everybody about the great deal I got. I go, I think this is worth something. I do. And so I spoke to the guy, Kevin. I said, Kevin, are you in a position to, make a deal? And he says, oh, I got a little playroom, a little wiggle room. And I said, okay, well, let me tell you this. And I gave him one of my business cards. And I said, I used to be on a local radio station here for 9.5 years, have a pretty large following. Now I'm just doing things on the internet. I have an internet program. So the audience is not as big, but they're still loyal followers. And they, from time to time, need tires. So here's what I'm wondering. Would you be willing to knock off a few extra dollars? And I'll go ahead and post this on my Facebook page about what's going on so that my viewer friends will be able to see. And on top of that, I'll give you a brief sponsorship for a weather forecast on my program. And he said, okay, how much do you want to knock off? We agreed on a price. He knocked it off, and I walked out of there with 4 basically brand new tires for less than $300. You want to talk about a blessing? That, ladies and gentlemen, is a blessing. This happened because of nothing that I did. No slick talking, no hypnotic powers, nothing. It is the power of the Holy Spirit and God touching this man's heart, giving me favor with him so that he's willing to work with me. Trust me, when I first went in there, I wasn't a happy guy. I wasn't all smiling. Hey, how's it going, everybody? In fact, while I was standing there, I thought to myself, why is it that you always come into these places like this with your little negative attitude because you don't think you're going to get any help, and so you're just all Mr. Sourpuss. Hi, may I help you? Yeah, I'm here because I want to see if I can get some new tires for my warranty. I'm all Mr. Salty, but this guy didn't let that bother him. You know, I'm throwing salt at him, and he's just brushing it off, constantly trying to help me. Well, maybe we can work on something. 600, if 800 is too much, maybe we can find another tire. He's working with me, even though I'm Mr. Salty. And he comes up with that great deal for me. All I can say is it's God. God gave me favor. Touch this man's heart. And so, as I said, they're going to be a weather sponsor, not because we signed a contract to do it, but because I appreciate what they did. And I want to see if maybe one of you can get a great deal too. Yeah. If you need tires, go to Discount Tire on Van Oman Drive and look for Kevin. And tell Kevin, say thank you for giving Red a nice deal on his tires. Let him know I'm a viewer of his, and he came here and got tires from you. And then you make your best deal with Kevin. They clearly have some wiggle room. So make your best deal because they want the business in the door. And I would like to help them get a little business to say thanks for the deal that I was able to make, which really helped me out. I can't tell you immeasurably. That helped me out immeasurably because I didn't know where I was going to get $800 for new tires. So I just thought I'd share that with you. That's kind of like my little praise report. Anyway, I'm going to end the show at 8:37 with Marvin Gaye. Have yourselves a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow morning bright and early at 5:30 right here for Red's Place 2.0 on the Lakeshore Disability Network. Here's Marvin Gaye and Ain't That Peculiar?
Crazy about you. Stay away too long and I can't do without you. Every chance you get you seem to hurt me more and more. But each hurt makes my love stronger than before. I know flowers grow from rain, but how can love grow from pain? Ain't that you? That things you do and say are designed to make me blue.